Hey guys, so in this video we're going to go through a shoulder taping technique. So Glenn, what are we going to do today?
So we're going to apply some tape to the shoulder. We're going to follow the line of the deltoid. This is a technique for a very irritable nerve root problem at the neck, something like that, where they've got referred pain down into the arm and you're trying to just give a little bit of relief. Often the subjective feedback that you'll get that makes me go to this technique is they feel like the weight of the arm is just really irritable, they can't get comfortable, they end up often holding their arm, or they put it above their head when they're lying in bed, anything so that they haven't got the weight bearing down on the neural structures essentially. So we've got Kate in this position. I've already positioned the shoulder how I want it, but basically you put a pillow under the elbow, move the bed up and down until you've got the shoulder in a nice neutral position. Often they'll be in this kind of pose beforehand, yeah, so you want to get them in the right starting point. As with all taping techniques, you want to make sure that your client has no allergies to plasters or to tape of any kind. And then we're going to start roughly around the insertion of the deltoid, and we're going to follow that deltoid line actually. So I'm going to come around the anterior side of the deltoid up over the clavicle. And with the base layer, you're not putting any tension on. This again is just the base for your second layer. And I'm going to just slightly overlap that tape, and I'm going to follow that round and link that again over. So now we're going to put the second layer on and take up a little bit of slack in the soft tissues, which should just support the upper limb and take a little bit of tension off of the soft tissues, neural structures that come from the neck into the arm. So you want it a little bit shorter than you require. With tape, it's really important that you don't just put tension on straight away. Create a little 1 inch, 2 inches with no tension, and then from here I'm just going to bring my fingers together, and you can see the creases here around the posterior side of the shoulder. We may just do a close-up on that just so you guys can see what the end result would look like. And same at the top of the tape, I'm not putting lots of tension on there, I'm just laying that down as a anchor.
Obviously, you know, you're ripping it with your fingers, but you could use scissors for this as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think when you're first starting, it's not always the easiest thing to tear it.
And you're just creating like a upward pressure essentially, or upward force.
Exactly right, yeah.
And that's what's going to give you that offload of the nerves and of the soft tissue structures essentially on that right hand side.
I took a little bit off there. And then again at the top, you want to have no tension.
Yeah, it's the same concept with using K-tape as well, isn't it? You want no tension at the bottom, then you want to create the tension, and then again just use come down into the skin and use a other hand just to no tension at all at the top.
Exactly, and you know, it's quite a nice progression from this to switch to K-tape. So when they're very irritable, you want to give them maximum support. I like to use the rigid tapes,
yeah. And
then as they start to improve, you can do similar techniques with the dynamic tape or the K-tape or the flexible tape,
yeah,
to get the same outcome. So from here, then you would just get your client to stand up, see if the weight of the arm feels any different. It'll feel quite tight to begin with, it'll feel like they're holding that arm in that position, and then over a period of hours it will loosen up slightly. You may also want to put a little base just over the top here just to secure that, depending on how much tension when they stand. And this is the point to tell them to monitor specifically for reactions. Yeah, so if they are unfortunate enough to have a slight reaction to the tape, 9 times out of 10 it will be in that area where there's more tension. Yeah, so that's a nice offload tape for neural irritability in the neck and shoulder.